Hello everyone! So the goal of this video is to demonstrate the ideal warm-up and cool-down and also show 3 different variations for 6 modalities for upper and lower body. So first things first, we're going to start with the warm-up. So the warm-up has a number of reasons of why it is important. So, okay, first thing is that it will increase your blood flow, meaning that the capillaries will dilate. This will ensure that your muscles receive the oxygen that it needs. So dilated blood vessels, meaning that, they become bigger, allows for more hemoglobin, which carries oxygen, to travel throughout your body. If you get more oxygen within your body, you get more energy and you're able to last longer throughout your workout. It also increases heart rate. It will also increase the synovial fluid in your bones. The synovial fluid is a fluid cushion in between your bones. So an increase of this fluid will lessen the impact of your workout. And it will also increase your recruitment motor rate, which will increase your ability to lift heavier. But never ever do a static stretching before a workout. Instead, do a dynamic stretching. So, performing a static stretch before a workout will require more stretch than flexibility. So, basically, this informs your neuromuscular system to relax. And so, by the time that you need to recruit these strong motor units, they will be in that relaxed state. The only time that it is beneficial to perform a static stretch prior to a workout would be in low intensity exercises that require long term endurance, such as a marathon, cycling, basically just any workout that falls under the aerobic pathways. The most effective warm up would follow the ramp protocol, which consists of raise, activate, mobilize, and potentiate. We will get more into depth on each one as we go through the video. But the R and ramp is an overall raise in your physiological activity and to physically and physiologically prepare you for your workout. The A and P is to activate and mobilize your body. Through my dynamic stretching, I am activating the muscles needed for my workout through a range of motion. The RAM should be covered in the first 5 minutes of your warm-up. So as you can see right now I'm just doing the R, which is raise and the ramp protocol. So right now I'm just increasing my blood flow, I'm increasing my heart rate, and with this, this would cover my first 5 minutes of my workout. But also keep in mind that while you are stretching, what is your goal? Is this for your sport-related exercise? And if so, how much flexibility requires for this said sport? So, for example, a gymnast requires more flexibility than a football player. So, being hyper flexible or having just an inadequate amount of flexibility can be detrimental to either sport. So, just keep that in mind for your next workout sesh. And finally, P is to potentiate your warm-up, meaning that within the last 5 minutes of your warm-up, it has to be movement specific to your main workout. This will be the most intense part of your warm-up because it has to increase to the intensity of your main workout. The way how I broke down my warm up was by dividing the first 5 minutes into two different aerobic exercises: the Stairmasters, which y'all already saw, and jump roping. I'll jump rope into 3 intervals: 40 seconds on, 10 seconds off, repeating 3 times. The Stairmasters and jump rope are considered general warm-up exercises along with arm circles, high kicks, and other low-intensity activities such as speed walking. Because these activities raises your overall body temperature and physically prepares your body for the upcoming workout. Ew, okay, look at him dance. He's living, okay. Straight from the high kicks, which is considered a general warm-up activity, we will jump into the internal hip rotations, which is characterized as a specific warm-up exercise because it activates the targeted muscles/joints that we will need for during today's workout. So internal and external hip rotations are performed exactly how you hear them. You will rotate your hip joint towards or outwards. This dynamic stretch will activate the adductor muscles located on the medial side of your thigh. Seeing internal and external hip rotations is a sign that we will perform a workout that flexes and extends the hips. Workouts like squats, lunges, reverse lunges, hip squats, Bulgarian squats, etc. Then we will finish off our 10-minute warm up with another specific warm up exercise, the plank shoulder tap. This specific warm up exercise will engage your core. This includes the entire 360-degree area of your lower trunk. The plank shoulder taps activate the motor recruitment rate primarily in your deltoids, which is your shoulder, is like the prime muscle of your shoulder, but also the surrounding muscles. Keep in mind that while you are performing this workout, keep your body as still as possible. I know, y'all, I'm not really doing like the best job at the moment, but just keep still. If you keep still and you control your breathing to a minimum so that you're not like exaggerating going like or whatever, controlling your breathing, it will engage more core activation. And the tricep though. After the warm up, I'm going to jump into my main workout, which I'll be doing upper and lower body using the dumbbell as a workout modality. Here we're going to be performing three different variations of shoulder press. First up, it's going to be the narrow grip shoulder press. For this one, you're going to keep your elbows in and hands in a neutral position as if you're about to shake someone's hands. And for this one, you're going to exert force from your shoulders up to your wrist. Pushing upwards is going to target your shoulders and also your triceps as you are exerting force. For this one, you're going to bring your elbows out, your hands pronated, aka over grip, and same thing, you're going to push from your shoulders up to your wrist and push up and down. When done correctly, controlling the weight, you will feel all that pressure on your shoulder, which it will work out your deltoid. This one is called alternating lateral shoulder press. It's very similar to the white stance variation, but it's very unique because it includes concentric, eccentric, and isometric movements. The isometric is engaging an exerted force without the need to lengthen or shorten your muscle fibers. Basically, your muscles are engaged stationary, whereas the first two variations only involve concentric and eccentric movements. Oof, damn, y'all guys see that I'm struggling, y'all. I'm so sorry. Excuse these monkey faces. Alright, y'all, so for this one, we'll be doing three different variations of goblet squats. So, my favorite. So, yeah, I'm going to start with the narrow stance goblet squat. So, for this one, you're going to grab the dumbbell. Sorry, I don't know why I like brain farted. But yeah, grab a dumbbell. You're going to put your stance at like a little bit slightly less than shoulder width apart, and then you're going to bend at your knees and squat down. Okay, you can either do ass to grass, which is what I'm basically doing, or you can just go at 90-degree, which would be right there. But I'm going a little bit lower just because I want to be extra. But whenever you do that full depth of goblet squats, you're activating the entire four quadricep muscles, which is your rectus femoris, your vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and vastus intermedialis. And also your hamstrings, which you do have three muscles in your hamstring area, which would be the long and short head bicep femoris, which is on the more lateral side. The medial side will be the semitendinosus and semimembranosus, and also a little bit of your soleus, which is like anterior to your gastrocnemius, which is your calf muscle. But those exert a little bit of force as you're doing your workout. These types of workouts definitely I would recommend to young athletes or to actual like trained professional athletes that mainly focus in power, but never recommend these workouts to an elderly person who's obviously not fit, or to someone with arthritis in their knee joints, because that will cause a lot of pain. Y'all, don't mind me here. Like, I'm over here just goofing out, just doing whatever, listening to like actual gym music, which is not that bad actually. Oh, ew. For real, looking for my friends like, ew. So my secret tip of picking up a dumbbell is by simply just squatting in front of it and putting your arms under it, bicep curling the heck out of it, and just putting it on either one side of your thigh, and just adjusting your hands, like your palms under the weight, to pick it up with ease. So like that you don't have to struggle or like hurt your back. And for the workout that we are watching right now, this is called the wide stance goblet squat. And the leg position will be on just slightly wider than your shoulder width. And from here, you're going to bend at your knees, bring your booty down. Again, you can go down to 90 degrees, or like the way how I like to call it is I go all the way ass to grass. This one helps me build greater depth into my squat and just activate the entirety of my leg, of my lower limbs, which would be from my soleus, which is like anterior to the gastomias, and to my hamstrings, and then up to my booty. So personally, whenever I do the sumo, well, not sumo, the wide stance and goblet squat, I feel it more in my glutes, just simply because I have my toes facing outwards instead of inwards. Whenever you face your toes outwards, it targets the maximus gluteus. This workout right here is called the elevated goblet squat. So there, I'm gonna do my famous technique, which I will fail miserably, but there you go. So with this elevated goblet squat, as you can see, I am doing the goblet squat at an elevated surface, but my stance is at a narrow stance. So my feet will be as shoulder width apart, if not a little bit closer, and I will bend my knees and just bring my ass down. This is my favorite ass to grass. Again, you guys could always do 90-degree angles. And for the elevated goblet squat, it mainly targets your quads. Personally, for me, at my vastus lateralis, which would be on the outside of my thighs. And, to make every single workout the most efficient and effective as it can be, build that muscle-mind connection. So whenever you do go down, imagine your muscles and imagine that they literally contract. So as you go up, you're going to squeeze whatever muscle you envision in your mind. But most importantly, do not forget to push through your toes. Alright, so we're going to be doing a bicep curl. So we're going to start with the narrow stance and wide stance, and then pronated and narrow stance. So like that, grip. Erase the stance. So narrow and grip, wide grip, pronated, and narrow grip. So this would be like right here, you see how like my thumb is right between the rough and the soft? So that will be a narrow grip. The correct form to this workout is to keep your torso erect, upper arm stationary, your knees slightly bent, and keep your elbows strictly closed, but not tucked in under your arm. Don't forget to fully extend the elbow for a greater eccentric movement. The idea is to give you the most disadvantageous arm position biomechanically possible in order to exert more force into your bicep curl and make this workout as effective as possible. This is a great arm workout for anyone excluding children under 11 years old. This workout directly targets the biceps brachii, short and long head, brachialis, and the brachioradialis. Meanwhile, using its tricep brachii as its antagonist and using its forearm muscles as a synergist. Okay, this right here, my index finger out here between the rough and the soft, like the outer edge, that will be considered a wide grip. Or you can also do pinky here in between the rough and the soft, either like this or like this. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do like this personally. The wide grip bicep is slightly harder than the narrow bicep curl, especially if you have a weak short head bicep brachii. The wide grip mainly targets the medial side of your bicep brachii. Similar to the narrow grip bicep curl, keep your knees slightly flexed. Starting position would be that the barbell is touching your thigh, then bring the weight to the anterior deltoid of your trunk while maintaining a stiff upper arm and not tucking in your elbows. Tucking in your elbows will defeat the purpose of an effective bicep curl. Okay, so I'm gonna use this just because I couldn't find another 20-pound barbell, so I'm gonna use this thing. This barbell right here, which is kind of curved. Well, I mean, not kind of, it's hella curved. And this one's actually 35 pounds. So for this one, we're gonna do a supinated grip. I mean, my bad, a pronated grip. So this is pronated, this is supinated. So pronated, or people just call it the overhand grip. This workout is called narrow pronated grip. It mainly works out the brachialis and the brachioradialis, two muscles that heavy weight lifters have to strengthen. Remember to engage your muscles in the full range of motion to recruit many motor units, and do not bounce in this variation. Something that all the three variations share is that the wrist extensor digitoria muscles and abdomen engage during this exercise, but mainly for stability. Some lower body workouts that you can do with the barbell, it would be three different variations, which I will show you guys in a bit with the barbell. It will be the neutral reverse lunge, the elevated reverse lunge, and the reverse lunge with the high kick. These are my personal favorites just because it's truly a compound workout which works out multiple muscles at the same time. So for the first one, as we're watching, it is the neutral reverse lunge, and we will be stepping back, not too close, not too far, and definitely it just depends on your personal range of motion and your flexibility. Be careful not to bounce your knee on the floor. Keep your core engaged. Breathe in as you're going down and breathe out as you get up. Okay, and now here I'm bringing out the plate so that we can start with the elevated reverse lunge, where, as you guys will see, I am going to stand on top of the plate in a bit. So there, I have stepped on the plate. So now that I'm on the plate, I'm going to step back, and this would engage a deeper stretch through my quadricep muscles, which would be my rectus femoris, my vastus intermedius, vastus medialis, and vastus lateralis. This thing right here, whenever you do push up onto the elevator surface, you will feel a deeper contraction within your hamstrings and also your quadriceps. Also remember that for the bar, even though it doesn't seem like it, also keep your elbows engaged, keep your elbows tight and ready for anything. And the barbell, you can either put it on the higher part of your back or mid back, whatever is more comfortable for you. I like to do a little bit more in the middle, just because my personal safety comes first, and I just don't want it to drop on me. And for this third one, this is called the reverse lunge with high kick. So there, I'm just taking like a mini breather. So this is super good. This one, I've definitely felt it in my glutes, just because like it covers the entire muscle. So I would go down into a reverse lunge and then kick up, and I will hold. When you do kick up, just squeeze your booty just slightly right there, just to engage that gluteus maximus, gluteus medialis, and gluteus minimus whenever you do kick up, because those three muscles are the ones that will engage as you squeeze your muscles. Another way to increase the efficiency of this workout is to imagine just mind muscle connection. So when you step back, imagine that your hamstrings are pulling your leg back, and as you kick up, it's your quadriceps that will be pulling your knee up. Kind of like if you were made out of rubber. And whenever you do kick up, remember to squeeze your booty cheeks at the top. For this workout modality, we're going to use a pusu ball, or as I like to call it, a half medicine ball. just flip it upside down. Just make sure that it's sturdy. You're going to put your hands outwards, get into your push-up position, and then you're going to go down and then push up. Go down with your biceps, push up through your triceps. This workout right here, it targets both your bicep and your triceps. Just because as you're going down, you're using your biceps, and your tricep acts as an antagonist, and then whenever you push up into like just a starting position, you're pushing through your triceps, and your biceps act as an antagonist. So this workout was not fun, y'all. And let me tell you guys, I have never done this workout before, and it hurt. But I definitely loved it. I will definitely give it another try. But this workout is called the push-up decline. So you get the puzzle ball, put your feet in the middle of the puzzle ball, and just do a regular push-up from there. Not regular, but you'll be doing that decline push-up. This one you will feel a lot more in your triceps as you go up, just due to the mechanical disadvantage that you are putting your body in. Y'all, if y'all think the first two are not hard, try this one. This one was probably the hardest one, and it really did push me emotionally and physically. But yeah, definitely very similar to the push-up decline. This one is called the push-up with the leg raise decline. So, yep, just as you see it, you're gonna pick one leg up, and you're gonna feel a lot of force, a lot of pressure and weight on the upper region. And oh look, I failed. But mama didn't raise no bitch. So I'm gonna get right up, walk a little bit dramatically, and then I'm gonna get right to it. The main muscles that are being worked out throughout all these three variations will be the pectoralis major, the pectoralis minor, the triceps brachii, and also the anterior deltoids. And especially the core muscles. The core muscles would include the rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, internal and external obliques, and pyramidalis. Essentially, all the muscles in your lower trunk. So these next three variations for lower body with the puzzle ball modality is mainly targeted for more of the older generation, or just people that are in rehab after like a serious like sports injury, and they're trying to regain strength to go back into their sport or their activity. So the first one, we'll be doing a hip width bridge. As y'all can see, my stance would be at hip width apart, and then I will be pushing through my heels, squeezing at my booty at the top, just keeping my trunk to my knee as straight as possible whenever I do go up, and just squeezing the buttocks together to activate the hamstring muscles, which would be semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and the two bicep femoris heads. And also all the main, the main gluteus muscle, which is gluteus maximus. This next variation is called single legs bridge. This one right here is an isometric workout, meaning that we are isolating only one leg. So we're putting all of our body weight on this one leg, but still following the same steps as the prior variation. So you're going to push through your heel, exert force to the ball, squeeze your booty cheeks at the top of the bridge, and just come down slowly. Don't bounce, just don't drop yourself on the floor, and try to keep your trunk to your knee as straight as possible. The importance of just having a controlled breathing whenever you're performing this exercise. So whenever you bridge up, you're going to exhale, and whenever you come down, you're going to inhale. So remember, we're going to always inhale whenever we are at the easiest part of our workout. That will normally be at eccentric movements, and whenever we are using a concentric movement, that would be during the sticking point, which is normally the hardest movement or the hardest portion of our workout. And the reason why I very emphasize on the breathing technique of this workout, or just of any workout, is because whenever you're properly using this breathing technique, you engage your core more. And just like I said in the previous video, the core muscles are made up of the rectus abdominis, the transverse abdominis, internal and external obliques, and the pyramidalis. So all those muscles are going to engage whenever you breathe in effectively and engage your core into the workout. And right now I am performing the bridge crab walks. So this right here, it involves a little bit of range of motion, flexibility, but it will still work out your gluteus, because the entirety of the workout you are going to be squeezing your buttocks together while also maintaining a straight trunk. This workout is great for rehab patients who have injured their posterior muscle and or ligaments, such as their PCL. This is perfect for low intensity exercise to stretch and strengthen those surrounding muscles. But not limited to, this workout could also work out for the elderly generation who want to just build and basic lower body and strength. For the upper body workout with the kettlebell as a modality, we're going to be targeting your tricep brachii. This muscle right here, my bad. This workout right here is called the overhead extension, but this muscle is a three-headed monster that stabilizes your shoulder joint. So perform this workout with precaution and never ego lift a tricep overhead or any workout if possible. Grab your kettlebell and slowly extend your elbows behind your head as far as you can possibly go at a comfortable level. Keep your upper arm as stationary as possible. The only movement you should see is from your forearm to your wrist as you are lifting the kettlebell up over your head and slowly lowering the weight. This exercise includes concentric movement, which is when you are pulling the weight over your head, and eccentric, when the weight is being lowered, which lengthens your muscle fibers, which promotes muscle increase due to micro tears occurring during eccentric movements. This workout that we literally just saw me kind of struggle get down to is called the floor extension tricep brachii. So it does target your tricep brachii, but we'll be taking it to the floor. This workout follows the same mechanical movements. Only thing to keep in mind to have an effective tricep brachii burn is to keep your upper arm perpendicular to the floor and lower the kettlebell almost touching the ground behind my head. Disclaimer, my upper arm here in this video is slightly slaying any slope, so learn from this simple mistake. The floor extension exercise will be used as a supplement exercise simply because it is not a compound workout. It's perfect for aesthetic purposes, cross-sport athletes, and also for the older generation to strengthen the muscles surrounding the shoulder joint. Another variation for upper body using the kettlebell would be the supine and tricep extension. Surprisingly, this workout is considered to be an isometric exercise because you're only utilizing one joint and not several like a normal back squat would. For this exercise, decline the best bench press at a 45-degree angle. Keep your feet flat to the floor, maintain a neutral grip, and mentally imagine that you are bear hugging someone. Slowly lower the weight at your side at a comfortable range of motion, and when you bear hug, your person squeeze the pectoralis major, aka your chi-chi muscles. The position of your grip through the motion, you will feel a slight burning sensation in the tricep brachii and your pectoralis major, minor, and also the extensor/flexor digitorum muscles, which originate from your elbow and it inserts into your fingers. I'm going to show you guys 3 different variations for your lower body using the kettlebell. First thing, we're going to start off with the narrow stance Romanian deadlift. So here you will slightly bend your knees, push your hips back, pretend there's like a post right behind you, and you're imaginally flexing your hip back to touch that pole. Keep your core engaged and your back neutral. So right here, I'm going to slightly turn around and show you guys the lateral view of this. Okay, as you can see, my back is straight. My weight is super close to my body. My knees are slightly bent, and I'm pushing in words, like I'm pushing my pelvis forward and then I'm sitting back. This workout will target your hamstring muscles, such as your bicep femoris, your semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and the adductor magnus, which is the floor of the adductor muscle group. Also, your gluteus muscles, such as your gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, and gluteus minimus, and also your forearm flexors, which promotes grip strength. If the weight is a bit too heavy but manageable, I recommend getting a lifting belt to your to your waist size to provide that lumbar support and rigidity in order to not mess up your back or pull on any lower back muscles which connect to your upper back or pelvic girdle. If you ever do manage to hurt your lower back from this exercise, that just means that you either lifted too heavy or that your form was just not on point. And I'll be hella disappointed in y'all. Not just kidding. But to soothe your back pain, perform a pronated laying seals for 15 to 30 seconds to stretch out your latissimus dorsi, your thoracolumbar fascia, which it is a long fascia which connects from your coccyx and is connected to several back muscles that cover the thoracic and lumbar region, the gluteus maximus and gluteus medius. Simply lay down and slowly push your upper body in the still position to comfort level. Or you can get lifting straps if you feel like the weight is slipping too much from your fingers during your workout. As for the second variation of the kettlebell Romanian deadlift, this one is called the wide stance Romanian deadlift. So it's very similar to the previous workout where we will have our knees slightly flexed, we will push our booty out, we will keep our back neutral, and keep the weight as close to your body as you can. A good way to measure how close it should be to your body would be that it should run along the surface of your sheens. So my personal favorite range of motion area would be from my ankles up to my knees and then slowly down my shins and then up. Some people prefer to go all the way from their ankles up to like half their thighs, and ew, look at me jamming out sort of. But yeah, definitely try it out, test out your range of motion. It always depends just on the biomechanical the position of each person, but for sure it's a really good workout to target your hamstring muscles. And this workout will be considered an isometric workout, and it should be used as a supplement exercise to promote strength, which contributes to power for football players, sprinters, or even wrestlers. As for my third variation for the kettlebell, we're going to be doing the single leg Romanian deadlift. So for this one, it's a little bit tedious just because you do have to, You do have to measure what is more comfortable for you and biomechanically wise, because again, every single body is different. It is literally built different. But my personal taste is that I will keep the kettlebell on that lateral side of your body. But first, let's just take it a step back. So start by slightly bending over. Place your right leg back as a supporting leg. This leg should not be stretched out way too far because you will lose your balance. But place it far enough to already feel a stretch in your left glutes, but not too close because you want to isolate this exercise to that dominating leg that you want to target first. The kettlebell should be on the lateral side of your body. Hold with the pronated grip. Then bring up the kettlebell from your ankle to the top part of your patella, aka your kneecap, and slowly lowering down the weight along your shin. As you lower the weight, this will be an eccentric movement. So squeeze squeeze your buttocks to engage gluteal muscle. And while you're lifting the weight during the concentric movement, squeeze your hamstrings for an overall more effective Romanian deadlift exercise. These three variations, they offer a lot to anyone who is looking for general health and strength. So here I am performing again what I already explained to you guys, how to start the single leg Romanian deadlift. So there, I am squeezing my booty cheeks whenever I perform the eccentric movement, meaning going down. And whenever I go up, which is concentric, I am squeezing my hamstrings just for an overall more effective feeling of the workout, because you will be engaging your entire hamstrings and gluteal muscles. My personal biomechanics would be that I feel it better whenever I bring the kettlebell from my ankles up to the anterior part of my patella, superior part of my patella, aka my kneecap. Remember, keep your core engaged as well. Your core is an important stabilizer during the workout. So, okay, right now I'm getting ready for the first variation of three variations I'll show you guys for using the TRX bands. So, for the first one, we're doing the narrow width grip TRX pull up. This will engage your anterior deltoid, biceps, and brachii, and the core muscles. Throughout the exercise, practice on your breathing technique. During the concentric movement, aka pulling up, like right now, you're going to exhale because it is the sticking point of this exercise. And during the eccentric movement, which is whenever you extend your arm, such as right now, you're going to inhale because it's easier to inhale more air into your lungs whenever you're not in the middle of a concentric movement. The concentric movement is always known to be the hardest and phase of your exercise. Yo, look at them muscles. But okay, but as I start to get ready for the second variation, the second variation will be the narrow width grip. So as y'all can see, I am getting ready for it, and it will be very similar to the prior variation. The only difference is that I will raise one leg up. So now it is called a narrow width grip with one leg raise. It is the same technique used in the first variation, except that it will engage your core even further. Since we do have our knee flexed, it's going to force us to literally squeeze in our rectus abdominis, external and internal obliques, transverse abdominis, and erector spinae. But don't forget to inhale during eccentric and exhale during concentric movements. Here I have situated myself into the wide pronated grip. This targets your anterior and medial deltoid, superior portion of the pectoralis major, core muscles for stabilizing, and minimal biceps brachii effort. This isolated exercise, meaning that you're only utilizing one joint during the movement, which has the best of both worlds, honestly, because it includes not only your upper physique, but your core. You're using body weight to strengthen shoulder joint muscles and core activation, which is used and is beneficial for other isolated and compound workouts. The variations are ordered from beginner to intermediate. Yeah, the struggle was real doing all that. But okay, I finally got it done. But here, I'll show you guys three different variations using the TRX band and targeting the lower body part. So first things first, we're going to start with the first variation, which is called TRX hamstring curl. We're going to do 10 repetitions of this, and this will target your hamstrings, which consists of semitendinosus, semimembranosus, adductor magnus, and also the bicep femoris. This exercise engages hamstring and also core for stabilization, and trust me y'all, you will feel the burn after a few reps, because not only are you balancing on your body, but you're also moving your legs at the same time. Variation 2 is slightly harder than the first variation. It's called the TRX alternating hamstring curl. Just as you see, you are still engaging your core, you're still going to be controlling your breathing, but you're going to alternate your knees whenever you bend them. So just as you see right now. And now this will be my third variation, which is the TRX unilateral hamstring curl. So for this one, as you can see, we're still engaging the core, the hamstrings are still activated, and you're only using one side of your body to do 10 repetitions on each side non-stop. These three variations are mainly targeted for rehab patients who have suffered any type of posterior ligament or muscle tears, sprains, or strains. For the first variation of the plate modality for upper body will be the front shoulder raise. This will primarily target the anterior and the medial portion of the deltoid. The anterior portion of the deltoid will lift your arm forward, and the medial portion of the deltoid will engage when you pause and hold the weight horizontally. So you will touch from your thighs and stop whenever your armpit and your trunk are at a 90-degree angle. The second variation is front shoulder raise with chest pass. Very similar to the first variation, but it will engage the clavicular head, which is the most anterior part of your pectoralis major, and partially the sternal head as well. The sternal head is literally where your sternal bone is located, which is like the middle part of your chest. But yes, it will include 2/3 of your pectoralis major included into your workout, besides the deltoid anterior and the deltoid medial. The third variation is called halo rotations. This is the perfect rotator cuff activator, which includes the supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres major, and the subscapularis muscle. These isolate workouts are recommended for preteens to elders and should be used as a supplementary exercise which strengthens shoulder joint muscles and also mobility. So here I'm going to show you guys 3 different variations that we can do with the plate as a modality and targeting the quadriceps and the hamstrings. So I'll be doing the Bulgarian squat. The difference between a Bulgarian squat and a split squat is that a Bulgarian squat, it is done with an elevated surface, such as what we see right now. So this first variation is called just the normal Bulgarian split squat. If you guys notice, my posted knee was at a 90-degree angle. That movement in specific targets both your quadriceps and your hamstrings. As for this second variation that I'm about to perform right now, I will be doing the quadricep focus and Bulgarian squat. So if you guys notice here, I'm showing you guys that my posted knee is at less than 90-degree angles. So keep it like at a good 45-degree angle, and then just slightly tap your knee on the floor. But remember, only let your posted knee do all the work. The back leg does not exist, okay? So whenever you do engage your back leg, that could cause growing problems where you overwork out the adductors because you're trying to force that back leg to do work when it's not supposed to be doing work. On the contrary, you have to focus. Oh, look at me falling. But on the contrary, you have to focus on your quadriceps doing the work, and your quadriceps will be activated, especially during this second variation. As for this third variation, we're going to target the hamstrings. This workout right here is called the hamstring focus Bulgarian squats. So here, I always like to start with my knee on the floor, just like that I can know exactly what range of motion I'll be doing. And also I'm flexible, so it's fairly easy for me. But the posted knee would be at more than 90-degree angles. So the key here would to have your posted knee at more than 90-degree angles. Just like that, you can specifically target those hamstring muscles such as your semitendinosus, semimembranosus, and your bicep femoris. These 3 variations are a perfect compound workout just because it moves 2 different joints. Alrighty guys, so the cool down is equally as important as the warm up. Homegirl, homeboy, remember that your blood vessels are still dilated, meaning that they're slightly bigger, like they're slightly wider than your normal resting state, and that also your body temperature is just super high because you were just working out. So your body needs to gradually decrease in activity to not pass out or feel sick. So for my workout, I decided to just do the first 5 minutes of my cool down to be, again, Stairmasters, cardio, but not too high intense. Just a good low intense aerobic exercise just to gradually decrease for my physical activity. But just keep in mind that your cool down should be performed 5 to 10 minutes after your workout. The first 5 minutes should be a low intensity aerobic exercise, while the last 5 minutes should be static stretching. So some of the benefits of cooling down would be that it reduces the buildup of lactic acid. Lactic acid is one of the resulting products of pyruvate, aka glycolysis, and if you know what that is, homegirl, homeboy, look it up. An accumulation of hydrogen ions will cause nausea, fatigue, and dizziness. Also, another reason to cool down is that your muscles are warm. So use that to your advantage to stretch. It causes a little bit of micro tears in your muscle, which will create more muscle. And reason number 3, post stretching reduces muscle soreness. So, static stretches should be held at mid discomfort for 15 to 20 seconds for each stretch. This will cause the muscle spindles wrapped around your muscles and fibers to be stretched, relaxed, and to reduce the feeling of of soreness. So aquí me hice un poquito loca, over here just fixing the gym fit or whatever. But for the last 5 minutes of my cool down, I'm going to do my static stretching, starting off with the half knee hip flexor stretch. This thing is super good to stretch your pelvic girdle. So what I do is that with my post up knee, so like my flex knee, I always put at 90-degree angles, and I push my pelvis down to the floor, and I hold it for 15 seconds or 30 seconds if I feel a little bit confident. And then I'm going to push down and do what I always say to my head, nose to knee, but it's called half split kneeling hamstring stretch. So you're going to stretch your entire hamstring, and oof, homegirl, that burns, god dang. But yeah, holding for another 15 to, like, if you can, 30 seconds is gonna feel amazing, and your muscles will thank you later. And then from here, you're gonna slide down into a into a split for again another 15 to 30 seconds. Hold on to it, it's gonna burn. But yeah, this duo, like this combination, we used to always do it for my gymnastics class whenever I was still back in high school. But yeah, no, it definitely helps so much to stretch your hamstrings, your quads, and your pelvic girdle. And for the ones who cannot do the split, use this stretch as an alternative. And I'll be doing my dynamic duo or my combination on the other side of my body. So I'm going to push into the half knee hip flexor stretch, go into the half split kneeling hamstring stretch, which I like to call nose to knee, and then slip into the split. Or you can do the other alternative. It's all good. But definitely for this one stretch right here that you guys are seeing, I recommend high caution. Go into it slowly and just feel your muscles literally get stretched out. Because whenever you rush into it, it could literally pull your groin, and that's super painful, and it will take you out the game for like 2 to 3 months, depending how bad the muscle rupture is, if it's a grade 1 or 3. But for this one as well, be careful, homegirl. You will feel a nasty stretch from your knee up to your booty, and then drop into the split. Ew. The split is the perfect way to show off and just be cool. Nah, I'm just kidding. But the splits really do help to stretch out your biceps. Your hamstrings and your quadriceps. Hold it for 10 to 30 seconds. Okay, so this next stretch, will literally stretch your piriformis muscle. And if you know where that is, look it up. Not just kidding. So the piriformis muscle is located in it's one of the innermost muscles in your glutes. It attaches from your sacrum to the anterior part of your greater trochanter. And you will feel a stretch. Just hold it for 15 to 30 seconds. Ew. These static stretches that I am showing you guys right now are perfect, especially for a lower body workout. It's ideal to static stretch the muscles that you specifically targeted for that day, because again, you're working out those muscles. So those muscles are especially warm and ready to be stretched in order to increase muscle mass and also to decrease the risk of muscle soreness. My trick to this workout is that I like to keep my frontal leg parallel to my view sight, and also my back leg to be as straight as possible, toes facing downwards, and my pelvis girdle flush against the floor if possible. Obviously, it's not like that right now, but this static stretch is recommended for young athletes or professional athletes. This next static stretch will stretch out your flexor digitorum muscles, which originate from mid-arm, aka your ulnar radial joint, down to your fourth fingertips. The starting position for this workout would be, not workout, my bad, for this static stretch would be on your knees, supinate your forearm and place them on the floor, with your palms facing away from you. Place your hands at a close range and gradually slide your hands away from your body for a deeper stretch. Definitely do not overdo it, okay? Because whenever you do overdo it, you could cause a serious muscle tear in your arm. But this stretch can be performed by anybody to stretch out any muscle knots due to prior soreness. It will increase elbow and wrist flexibility, and it is used in physical therapy rehab for forearm care patients. So now we're going to jump into seated spinal twist. So for this static workout, we're going to cross one leg like so, push the elbow into the knee to get that, that vastus lateralis and muscle stretch. And then we're also going to twist our spine in the process. And for that, while you're in that position, you're going to take really deep breaths. Whenever you do take a deep breath in and your lungs are increasing in volume because of air pressure, your vertebrae is actually expanding. So in that twist position, and also getting that oxygen into your lungs and expanding your thoracic spine, your bones will literally crack. So try it at home, try it wherever, and you're going to feel that cook down your spine whenever you do inhale deeply in, but slowly, definitely take it at your own pace and don't force anything either. This static stretch should be performed for a good 15 to 30 seconds. This is such a great static stretch because not only does it stretch your vastus lateralis and the lateral fat fibers of your gluteus maximus, but also it stretches out your entire thoracic. Though I will only recommend this stretch to young athletes and trained professionals. For the older generation, we can do a supine spinal twist pose as a alternative. Another upper body stretch I'm going to perform is the superior pectoralis twist. It's the best upper body stretch for the anterior part of your body. You can perform either kneeling or standing. FYI, standing allows you to deepen your stretch, but you're going to create a letter L with your arm. Place the letter L on any flat vertical surface like a wall, like I'm doing right now. Then gently rotate the shoulder away from your hand. You can lean into it for maximum stretch. Hold for 15 to 30 seconds, then release. This static stretch will lengthen the muscle fibers of the anterior deltoid, pectoralis major and minor, and partially the biceps brachii. Honestly, anyone could perform this static stretch as a pre-workout activity once the body's core temperature is high enough to keep the muscles warm during your stretch. The superior pectoralis twist increases flexibility and is widely used in physical therapy clinics for patients who have capsulated shoulders. That just means that their shoulder freezes up and becomes stationary to the glenohumeral joint due to long distance of inactivity. Thank you all for following through with my video. I know it's been a little rough patch, but I'm so happy to share my knowledge and my experience with all you guys. But here, so for my stretch finisher, I'll be doing a dynamic stretch with the pole called back and front raises. It's really good to pair after the superior pectoralis twist. Normally, it is recommended to perform a dynamic stretch after a static stretch post-workout to efficiently lengthen the muscle fibers at their prime core temperature, aka when they're warm. For the back and front raises, start with the pronated grip, so that will be called also a overhand grip. So you're going to do a pronated grip on the pole, wider than shoulder width apart, just like that you don't break your shoulders. But yeah, you'll be doing wider than shoulder width apart, and then you're going to bring it over your head with controlled movements, then back to your mid thighs. You're free to extend your shoulder all the way to the posterior back part of your body. This will increase the depth of your dynamic stretch. But yes, do this for a good 30-40 seconds. Trust me, it will be a lifesaver, and it will reduce the level of soreness the following day, especially after an intense shoulder workout. Definitely, I recommend this dynamic stretch to anyone that has shoulder stiffness, because for sure, this dynamic stretch will unstiffen your shoulders because it allows for a large range of motion to be accessible. But definitely take it just step by step. I don't want you to hurt yourself while performing this dynamic stretch. But yeah, thank you guys all for following my video. I hope you guys have a great day, and bye.